Hello there, welcome back to the Disney Princess Story Time, and today we shall be reading The Princess and the Frog. The Princess and the Frog. Once upon a time, but not so very long ago, in the southern city of New Orleans, a little girl named Tiana was visiting her friend Charlotte LeBoeuf. Charlotte lived in a lovely mansion. Tiana's mother was there too, working on sewing a dress and telling the girls a story at the same time. In the story, a frog was really a prince, who was cursed and needed a kiss to make him human again. Tiana frowned. There is no way in the whole wide world I would ever, never, kiss a frog. Yuck! But Charlotte smiled. Is that so? I would do it. I would kiss a frog. I would kiss 100 frogs if I could marry a prince and be a princess. When they returned to their home, Tiana helped her father finish cooking dinner. They dreamed of someday opening their own restaurant. Soon the whole neighborhood gathered on the front porch to share the delicious gumbo they had made. Later, as her parents tucked Tiana into bed, she pointed out over her window. Daddy, look! Charlotte's fairy tale book said, if you make a wish on the evening star, it's sure to come true. Her father nodded. Yes, you wish and you dream with all your little heart. But remember, Tiana, that old star can only take you part of the way. Try to help it along with some hard work of your own. And then, yeah, you can do just about anything you set your mind to. Just promise your daddy one thing. That you'll never ever lose sight of what's really important, okay? After her parents left, Tiana made a wish on the evening star. Please, please, please. As the years went by, Tiana became a beautiful woman. Her father had passed away, and she worked waiting tables at a place called Duke's Diner. But Tiana still dreamed of having her very own restaurant, so she worked very hard and saved as much money as she could. In another part of the city, a prince from a foreign land walked down the gangplank of the ship. Prince Naveen was not a hard worker at all. His valet, Lawrence, carried all of the prince's luggage. The prince was visiting New Orleans because he loved jazz music, and the city's famous Mardi Gras festival was starting, which would be filled with great jazz music. All the people in town were excited by the prince's arrival. Everyone is, except Tiana. The festival was a busy time for her work, and she also cooked on the side, so that is where she focused her energy. Later that day, Charlotte LeBoeuf and her father came into the diner. She told Tiana that Prince Naveen was coming to her father's Mardi Gras masquerade that night. I'm going to need about 500 of your men catching beignets for my ball tonight. That big order finally gave Tiana enough money for the down payment on her restaurant. Soon after that, Tiana made an offer to buy the old sugar mill. She and her father had chosen it as it was the best location for the restaurant a long time ago. With her mother by her side, Tiana imagined how it would look, when Tiana's place was finished. Just look at it! The maid trade's going to be right where you're standing. Oh, and over here, a gourmet kitchen. I've got to make sure all Daddy's hard work means something. Her mother frowned. Tiana, your daddy may not have gotten the place he always wanted, but he had something better. He had love, and that's all I want for you, my sweetheart. At the same time, in another part of town, Prince Naveen and his valet Lawrence were having their tarot cards read by a man known as the Shadow Man. He promised both of them that he could give them anything they wanted. Lawrence wanted to live like the prince, not just to work for him, and Naveen wanted to avoid princely duties and keep his carefree lifestyle. The Shadow Man showed them a magic talisman. Soon Lawrence transformed to look like the prince, and the prince was turned into a carefree frog. The Shadow Man had used evil magic to make the switch. That evening, Charlotte was thrilled when the prince arrived at the masquerade ball. She didn't know that it was now really Lawrence in disguise. She happily danced with the impostor. The Shadow Man planned to have Lawrence marry Charlotte, and then he would steal all of her father's money. Across the room, Tiana was serving her beignets. The men who were selling the sugar mill were guests at the ball, but they gave Tiana bad news. You were outbid! If she couldn't come up with more money, Tiana would lose her chance to buy the sugar mill. She was so upset she tripped and fell on the table of beignets. Her costume was ruined. Seeing her friend fall, Charlotte rushed Tiana upstairs and gave her a beautiful blue dress and a princess costume to wear. Then Charlotte hurried back down to the ball. Alone, Tiana walked to the balcony and looked up. She saw the evening star and closed her eyes to wish for the sugar mill. She opened her eyes and saw a frog. To her amazement, the frog spoke. Kissing would be nice, yes? Tiana shrieked and ran back into Charlotte's room, and the frog followed her. I am Prince Naveen of Meldonia. He explained he had been cursed and needed a kiss to become human again. Surely I could offer you some type of reward. Wish I could grant, perhaps? Tiana wanted to help him, and thought getting her restaurant could be the perfect reward. So she closed her eyes and kissed him. There was a flash, and she looked at Naveen. He was still a frog. Then she looked in the mirror and screamed, "What did you do to me?" Tiana was a frog now, too. The Shadow Man had planned on keeping his frog prince captive, but Naveen had escaped. But he needed to keep Naveen close to make the magic talisman work and keep Lawrence looking like Naveen. The two new frogs were chased out of the mansion, out into the bayou. There Naveen learned that Tiana wasn't a real princess. "Well, no wonder the kiss didn't work. You lied to me. I never said I was a princess. You never said you were a waitress. You were wearing a crown. It's a costume party. You spoiled little rich boy." Tiana learned that Naveen didn't have the money to help her with her restaurant. His parents had cut him off from any more money, until he learned to be more responsible. But right now, their bigger problem was how to get out of the swamp. In the morning, while Naveen still slept, Tiana built a small raft. Then, as she struggled to paddle them through the bayou, Naveen lazily strummed on a homemade ukulele. So far, she was doing all the work. Suddenly, an alligator popped up next to them. Uh-oh! But he wasn't hungry. He was a jazz lover. His name was Lewis, and he loved playing the trumpet. He came by because he heard Naveen's music. Naveen and Lewis seemed content to just talk and play music, but Tiana wanted to find a way to break the spell. Lewis told him that an old voodoo woman named Mama Odie, who lived in the bayou, he thought she might be able to help with such things. Meanwhile, back at the estate, Lawrence was proposing to Charlotte. Without the real Naveen nearby, the talisman's magic was wearing off, and Lawrence was slowly changing back into himself. But Charlotte was so excited about becoming a princess that she didn't notice. "We're going to have ourselves a Mardi Gras wedding!" Off in the bayou, Tiana and Naveen were learning that being frogs wasn't easy. They tried to catch a firefly with their sticky tongues, but got tied up in knots instead. The firefly kindly helped them untangle. "Let me shine a little light on the situation." Then he offered to lead them to Mama Odie. The firefly's name was Ray. As he traveled along with his new friend, he told them of his true love. He said her name was Evangeline. "She's the most prettiest firefly I ever did glow." Naveen advised him, "Do not settle down too quickly, my friend." Tiana was getting tired of the all-play and no-work prince. She worked faster to hack through the bayou and find Mama Odie. Suddenly, Naveen was scooped into a small net. 3 hunters wanted frog's legs for dinner. Ray helped to help. "A bug gonna do what a bug's gonna do." He flew right up the nose of one of the hunters. But the other hunters netted Tiana. Working together, the two frogs hopped about, causing the hunters to hit each other as they tried to get them. Soon all 3 men lay battered at the bottom of their boat. Tiana called out, "And we talk, too!" The shocked hunters fled in fear. After all that excitement, everyone was hungry. Tiana started to prepare a swamp gumbo for dinner. Naveen wanted to help, but didn't know what to do. "The day my parents cut me off, suddenly I realized I don't know how to do anything." Tiana began to see the prince in a new light. She taught him how to chop mushrooms, and they made a gumbo. Ray and Lewis loved what the 2 frogs cooked together. When they had finished eating, Ray pointed up at the sky. "There she is, the sweetest firefly in all creation." Everyone looked up expecting to see his true love Evangeline, but it was really the evening star. Lewis began to play his trumpet, and Naveen asked Tiana to dance. But a few minutes later, powerful shadows sent by the Shadow Man swept over the bayou and grabbed Naveen. As they began to drag him away, his friends tried to pull him back, but the shadows were too strong. Suddenly, flashes of light vaporized the evil shadows. Naveen was saved. But how? "Not bad for a 197-year-old blind lady." It was Mama Odie. The magical woman and her pet snake led the 4 friends into her shrimp boat home. Mama Odie knew why the frogs were there. "Y'all want to be human, but you're blind to what you need." The frogs didn't understand. The old woman sighed and began to stir her gumbo. "Gumbo, gumbo in the pot. We need a princess. What you got?" Tiana peeked into the tub and saw a vision of Charlotte becoming the princess of the Mardi Gras for the night. Mama Odie told them that if Naveen could kiss the princess of the Mardi Gras before midnight, they could become human again. Tiana, Naveen, Lewis, and Ray caught a ride on the riverboat headed for the Mardi Gras parade. Everyone on the boat thought Lewis was just an alligator in costume. Along the way, Naveen quietly confessed to Ray that he had fallen in love with Tiana. Later, Naveen surprised Tiana with a romantic dinner. Just as he was about to ask her to marry him, she turned away and pointed to the building at the riverbank. "There it is! Your restaurant? Folks are going to be coming together from all walks of life just to get a taste of our food. I promise I will do whatever it takes to make it come true." Naveen hopped away. He knew he could not afford to help Tiana buy the sugar mill unless he married Charlotte. As he sat alone on the deck, wondering what to do, the evil shadows swept in and captured him. They quickly delivered Naveen to the LaBeouf estate, where Lawrence and the Shadow Man were waiting. The Shadow Man used the prince to restore his talisman's magic. Soon Lawrence looked like the prince again. Not only did Naveen fully understand the wicked plot, but they locked him in a chest. Meanwhile, the riverboat landed and Ray accidentally told Tiana how Naveen felt. Tiana was thrilled and they raced to the parade to see if Naveen had kissed Charlotte yet. Instead, they saw Charlotte and a human Prince Naveen getting married. Not knowing that it was Lawrence in his magic disguise, Tiana sadly hopped away alone. Now she thought she would be a frog forever. But Ray suspected foul play. He found the real Naveen and released him from the chest. Together the two friends arrived at the wedding boat just before the couple said, "I do." Naveen grabbed the talisman from the imposter's neck and flipped it to Ray, who sped away. The wedding was stopped. In a different section of the parade, Lewis was having a wonderful time, living his dream and playing the trumpet in a Mardi Gras band. Then Ray flew by with the talisman, which was heavy for a firefly. The Shadow Man and his shadows were in hot pursuit and gaining on him. Lewis leapt off the bandwagon and followed the action to help his friend. The angry Shadow Man caught up to Ray and swatted him to the ground before continuing after Tiana. As his shadows closed in, the Shadow Man blew a puff of magic dust over Tiana. It created the illusion that she was human again and in her dream restaurant. The evil man smiled. "All you gotta do to make this a reality is hand over that little talisman of mine." At that moment, Tiana understood everything. Her father had been surrounded by love. He had always had what he needed and never forgot what was important to him. So Tiana smashed the talisman on the floor. "No! No!" Immediately, Tiana was back to reality and a frog again. But the Shadow Man had lost control over the evil shadows. "Do you have any idea of what you've done?" The shadows chattered and swirled around him. Soon all that was left of the Shadow Man was his black top hat. Tiana hopped off to find Naveen. She found the prince with Charlotte, the Mardi Gras princess, along what had been the parade route. Tiana arrived just in time to him agree to marry Charlotte, but he added a condition. "You must give Tiana all the money she requires for her restaurant, because Tiana, she is my Evangeline." Tiana called out, "Wait! My dream wouldn't be complete without you in it." Tears filled Charlotte's eyes. "All my life I've read about true love and fairy tales, Tiana, and you found it." She turned to Naveen. "I'll kiss him for you, honey. No marriage required." But the clock began to chime. It was midnight and the kiss came too late. Tiana and Naveen were still frogs, but they were together. Suddenly, Lewis ran up to them carrying Ray. The firefly's light was flickering low. The swat from the Shadow Man had hurt him badly. Tiana and Naveen stood by him, held their hands together and told their friend all that happened. "We're staying frogs, Ray, and we're staying together." Ray smiled. "I like that very much. Evangeline liked that too." And then the little buzz light went out for the last time. Later in the bayou, it was time to bid Ray goodbye. Ray's friends raised their eyes to the evening star. Next to it there was another bright star no one had ever seen before. It seemed Ray and Evangeline were together at last. The little firefly had been right all along. True love always finds a way. Not very long after that, as all of their friends watched, Tiana and Naveen were married by Mama Odie. As the ceremony ended, the two frogs kissed and they turned back into humans. Mama Odie laughed. "Like I told y'all, kissing the princess breaks the spell." Tiana had become Naveen's wife. That made her a princess. Tiana and Naveen then went back to New Orleans. Their parents were happy to see them safe and hear all their good news. A few months later, there was a new restaurant in town, not called Tiana's Place, but Tiana's Palace. Tiana and Naveen enjoyed working there together, and Lewis played music and sang with the band. It quickly became known for the great food, exciting music, and good times. Tiana had everything she'd ever wanted. Sometimes dreams and wishes can come true. The end.
Cool. So that was the story of The Princess and the Frog. It's based off the animated Disney film, and it's one of their more recent films, so if you like this story, it should be very easy to find, and it's a really, really good film to watch. Until next time, I'll see you then. Bye-bye. Frog.
青蛙
Crocodile.
鳄鱼
Restaurant.
饭店
Star.
星星
Festival.
节日
Music.
音乐
Nice. Okay, so that was the story of The Princess and the Frog. Sorry, can we do it again?
OK